Hi, it's Kathleen and Peter with another weekly wrap up for Health Declassified. And we've got something interesting today. Did you know that the sleeping pills you take to help you sleep might be really reducing your memory capacity and affecting your brain? And Kathleen's going to tell us all about this. So you go for it, Kathleen.
Well, hello everyone. And yes, that is true. This is an article from Dr. Mercola. Listen to this. Most people take a pill and they drift off to sleep and they wake up refreshed, right? Well, the reality is far more complicated than that. A drug-induced sleep, Peter, isn't the same as a natural sleep, and the difference matters to your brain. So it goes on to say here that deep sleep is where your brain does its heaviest lifting. It clears out waste, it repairs cells, and locks in new memories into long-term storage. Popular sleep drugs like Ambien and benzodiazepines interfere with deep sleep, blocking your brain's natural cleaning system that removes toxic proteins tied to Alzheimer's disease. Sleep quality matters more than just sleep length. So someone taking zolpidem may get 8 hours of shut-eye, but the quality of that sleep is fundamentally altered. Instead of deep restorative brain activity, they're in a sedated state that looks like sleep but doesn't perform the same functions. That distinction is important for anyone relying on these medications long term. So, long term use of these medications shifts you into lighter sleep stages, reducing the restorative slow wave activity your brain needs for memory, for focus, and for repair. So during a 15-year study of older adults, they found that frequent sleep medication users nearly doubled their risk of developing dementia, with the strongest effects seen in white participants.
Ah,
Yeah. Insomnia sufferers who avoided medication had stronger brain rhythms for memory than those who relied on drugs, showing that natural sleep protects brain function better than drug-induced sedation. So,
ah.
practical steps like keeping a consistent sleep schedule, creating a cool, dark, and quiet bedroom, practicing relaxation before bed, and supporting your circadian rhythm with daily activity and daylight help you sleep deeply without risking long-term brain health. So there you have it, Peter. Sleep is
Wow, isn't that
restorative
amazing?
and natural sleep is restorative.
It's just, for sure. And one of the other ones that I've read that one should be very careful of is using any form of electronic screen a couple of hours within a couple of hours before trying to sleep, because that blue light really
Right.
affects your ability to go to sleep and your quality of sleep. Wow, that is interesting. But that sometimes I struggle to get to sleep, but I don't think I've ever in my life taken any form of sleeping medication. No, not at all. Anyway, I picked up. I know you've got something else to talk about in a moment, and we'll get to that. But one that I wanted to mention was the health benefits of being kind, and this is scientifically proven. You know, we all know that it's better to be kind than to be nasty and miserable, but there's scientific evidence now that it helps you. There was a big study in Australia, 600 odd participants divided into four groups. I won't go into the details, but the group that were kind to others had measurable improvements in their behavior, their mental state, their own level of happiness. The one that really struck me with, though, was in another study. They found that your cells that support your immune system show increased activity after acts of kindness, right? And
Oh,
your cells that make you stressed, yeah, your cells that make you stressed and the things that make you stressed show decreased activity after you have been involved in some form of kindness. And the other good one was that kindness is contagious, and that an observer of, say, you being kind to somebody is more likely to go out and be kind to someone else, having seen one act of kindness. And there's many stories to prove this. We won't go into all of them. So I found that quite amazing, that
Really?
kindness is not only the good thing to do, but it improves your health, right? And can also help your immunity systems. So that was my little one this week, Kathleen. And you've got one that is more important for men than women, but let's hear about it.
Well, Peter, I watched a very short video, and we will provide a link to that video because it is so important. It's from Dr. Eric Berg, and how to basically, this is regarding prostate issues with men. And he goes on to explain how estrogen is a byproduct of testosterone through
Oh,
the production of aromatase, which is an
that's right.
enzyme. And it's what converts testosterone into estrogen. And it is an increase in the estrogen that causes the prostate to enlarge.
Ah,
And he goes on to talk about the benefits of citrus to help reduce prostate. And specifically, he goes on to talk about lemons and how you can take a whole lemon and put it into a blender with 8 ounces of water. You can add a couple of drops of stevia to sweeten it up a little bit, or a full cup of blueberries, because blueberries also help to reduce the size of the prostate. And then drink that.
okay.
So basically, the whole lemon. So what he's saying is the peel in this case is more beneficial than the lemon juice, but the whole
Oh,
in
interesting.
particular is. So we're talking about not just the peel, but also the pith. That's that white layer between the lemon and the peel, the outside
Okay.
peel. So all of that is very beneficial to reduce this aromatase enzyme, so it prevents the testosterone converting into estrogen. So isn't that interesting?
Very, very,
And
very.
the best part is, I know somebody who's been doing this now, who's had issues, and the issues it's actually helped tremendously. So there you go.
Wow. That's
Worth,
very
worth a
interesting.
try, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try it too because I get up more times in the night than I'd like, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm certainly going to give it a try. Although
Mhm.
I did get checked out, and my doctor told me I don't have anything to worry about, but still, prevention's better than cure, so I will
Absolutely.
certainly try it. Interesting, interesting indeed. Let's tell you what's been happening on Health Declassified this week. Well, we had a guest on an episode that we published on Tuesday, and our guest was Dr. Deborah Zucker, who is a natural health doctor, and she has come up with a vitality map, and we'll give you a link to her website where you can read all about her vitality map. But it's important that you listen to the episode. And she goes into detail on how you can live a healthier, happier, more contented life by doing a number of things. And she will go into all that. So that's a good one to watch to help you lead a more contented life. And then coming up in 2 weeks' time will be Dr. Bill Andrews, who is an amazing guy. He's an expert on longevity, and he talks about how lengthening your telomeres, which are part of your DNA, will help you live a longer life. And he's wow, he's an example himself. He's 71 years old and he's still running ultra marathons. He's training right now for a 100-mile ultra marathon later this year at the age of 71. And then 2 weeks after him will be somebody from the same company, Eddie Stone from Touchstone. They have a number of health products, and Eddie will be talking also about longevity and immunity and how to uh, take stuff that will make your whole gut health better, and because of that, your overall health. And then wrapping it up 2 weeks after that will be Jody Scott, who produces natural products from crops grown on her own and her family's farm. A very interesting story of a mother and two daughters forming a company, a very successful company, producing all these natural health products. So that's the wrap up. And of course, we have to talk about a book and a featured author. And this week, it's this week's guest, Deborah Zucker, with her book, The Vitality Map. And there'll be a link in there so you can get that book. It sounds like a really good book. And that's it from me. So back to you, Kathleen.
Well, thank you all so very much for tuning in, and until next week, take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.